Good morning. It's incredibly quiet. It's Shabbat Shalom to those of Jewish faith. It's unusually quiet. There was one or two jet skis in the last 15-20 minutes as I walked down here south of the campsite. There are also not too many people at the campsite, families and little children. It's amazing to see the love with which so many things are prepared for them. It's amazing to watch also little babies and their parents, how many things they do for them, the amount of love. It's incredible. The sense for protection, for assistance, for stimulation, to bring them alive, to engage them. And this is also a beautiful paradise for the soul. Maybe even for the body, just to walk, to swim, to see the sun physically with our eyes, to wait for it, it's coming. All the different grasses changing their form in the seasons, all stimulating us. Human interaction with nature for thousands and thousands of years. Watching birds fly and dreaming to fly and flying. Amazing how we are prodded on, encouraged, stimulated. We dream. There's a purple heron right here in this big bush. Say goodbye to you, purple heron. Oh, you flew off. And then we have all the cultural stimuli from writers and poets and musicians, drama and comedy, narrative and fantasy. So much to stir our thoughts, our understanding. Today we have a difficult parable to stir us. We love to have the perfect word for the little babies, for the children, health, for family, for society. We don't want epidemics invading pandemics. And yet, when they find that some bad-intentioned folks have sown poison weeds in the garden, the instruction is not to pull them up. So in the perfect world in which we live, we encounter also major difficulties, opposition, and we're instructed not to pull up all the weeds, the darnel. I learned two things about this yesterday hearing a commentary. One of them is that apparently the Roman agricultural treatises dealt with this. One comment was that they actually had punishment and laws against people who would do such a thing. But I didn't find anything that confirmed that statement. But there is reference to darnel in some Roman writings, especially the first major agricultural work is apparently from Cato. Little search I did with AI. So in the 2nd century before Christ, there comes the sun for us. But there's also a feature of darnel. I just thought it was weeds, but actually there are chemicals in darnel that are actually unhealthy for consumption. And that's a real problem. But we have to live in a society where there's that kind of stuff, and the people do it. Just imagine the industry out there with porn, the distortion of the marvelous gift of sexuality, and the stuff that's offered, and so many other things. And some societies have laws, have very strict punishments, they have capital punishment. If somebody grows in just physically in an environment that's completely bacteria-free and virus-free and germ-free, then the first germ that comes, they don't have the resistance, they don't have the antibodies, they don't have the ability to stand against it. And there's also another aspect, is when we have to deal with difficulty, like those wonderful show horses jumping streams and fences and bushes, obstacles. They develop great skill, great ability. And so spiritually, many of the difficulties we have living in a counter-cultural world is a great development of strength and virtue. The tougher the difficulties we have, the stronger we get. And in that sense, the martyrs are the absolute ultimate example. They are revelations of God's strength in the midst of human weakness. And that's actually how we pray when we remember them. We thank God for revealing His strength in them, who were able to withstand such incredible attacks, aggressions, hatred, without hating, being able to withstand that. What a parable. And there's also something kind of on the other side of things from Jeremiah today, where he's calling out the people's false complacency over having the temple. having God's holy presence in Jerusalem and presuming that would impede catastrophe while they continue being unfaithful to God and oppressing the resident alien. What a great measure of true faith that the resident alien among believers is totally respected and honored and not deprived of life, deprived of the opportunities for life. And our societies, they are struggling with that. And there are also many complex issues in that field. But that word today, the resident alien, a lot of societies are very sensitive to that new feature in their world that has changed the status quo. Over years or decades, or sometimes in very short term. Look at this here, all set up for the children over here. I'll take you over there so you can see how much thought goes into things to create a magical world for children when they're going to camp. This big butterfly, all the color and the form, the shape, the mushrooms. And for a little child, the memories they can make, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, I'm not sure, probably that age group. And they have a magic world here for their theater. Well, people, we leave it like that for today. Wish you many blessings. We line up here with this magical word for the children. So just as the jet skis come in there,